everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Kismet. If you can hear me and see me awesomely, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat so I know that you guys can hear me in there. Oh, Half Fan coming in with that sub love. There we go. Saying something there. What's he saying? He's saying almost Fallout 76 time. It is Fallout 76 time right now. Right now. There we go. All right. You guys can hear me good and see me awesome. I had a rough couple of days, 8 months in the making. I finally got my crown in the back of my tooth. I had a root canal done. I actually had a massive filling back there for a while, and it always hurt. And whenever you drink something too hot or too cold, it would hurt in the back. And it's my primary tooth that I chew food on, right? So I went and had it done, and they said, you know what, it's got to have a root canal. So they went and did a root canal on it. And that was 8 months ago. 8 months ago. And then so he put a temporary filling in there after the root canal. And then my insurance company said it was going to be like $2,000. And I went, ha 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 ha, you funny. You funny. Yeah, you funny. Yeah, like I got that kind of money. I don't think so. So I said, you know, when can I actually have my insurance pay for it? They said, well, you'd have to wait till the year resets. So I went to TwitchCon with a bad tooth. I went all through that, all through the end of the year. And then I had beginning of the year, they went in and prepped it to put the crown on and measured and did whatever they did after the first year. And then it took until now, until they got the crown in. And then I spent like 2 hours of them adjusting it, getting it just right. And now I have a tooth. Here's a little life lesson, everybody. Take great care of your teeth. If I had it to do it all over again, I go back and take way better care of my teeth. And one small thing that I did learn that I wish I had learned years and years ago, as a soda fan, somebody drinks lots of soda. I don't drink that much coffee. Same thing with coffee, though, is it does stain the front of your teeth. If you want to keep it from staining your teeth, if you're still young, drink it through a straw. Drink it through a straw. And a lot of you don't know, by the way, if you know when you pop the top of a can, aluminum can of soda, if you actually turn that thing around, the hole in the top of there is actually for your straw. You never knew that. Look at a can next time you check it out. Check it out when you pop that can. My kids were doing it the other day. It reminded me of that. I knew that from when I was a kid. But I never use a straw. I would just drink it directly out of the thing. And, of course, it'll stain the heck out of your teeth. So, and, of course, I have a big overbite as well. And they said they'd have to break my jaw and do all the surgery and whatnot to make it work right. And I said, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll just wait until the technology comes around. Or I'm 50 now. Oh, well. Oh, well, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me and whatever. It's, you're going to have to just roll with it. But if you have the opportunity to use a straw whenever you're drinking soda, whenever you're drinking anything that might stain your teeth, it'll save you lots and lots of headache down the road. As well as do what I do now, and that's it. Just don't drink a lot of soda. Drink lots of water, because that is the way to go. Actually, I got 2 of them here. Let me finish this little one first. Let's get started with a good shot of water. So good. Icy. Icy cold. I like me some icy cold water. I don't like warm water. I don't like warm milk. I know what it is. It makes my stomach turn. So I got that going on. Me and my kids did get some time yesterday to play some Stardew Valley. Man, I am crushing that other playthrough. I literally have made 500,000 gold. 500,000 gold within the first 3 seasons. So you got spring, summer, and fall. And I think I'm in day 15 now of winter. And I've made 500,000 gold. That's how you know you're crushing the game. You're destroying it. And I have all the stuff upgraded and all that stuff. I got my thing all automated. We'll try that out next week. See if we can duplicate it in the run that we're doing for the stream. And see how it goes. Now, tonight, of course, we got a jam-packed. That's why I started a little bit earlier, because it's jam-packed tonight. We've got Fallout 76 we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be checking in on our 7 days to die. We're going to be playing a little bit of that, maybe doing some automated defenses and whatnot, working on our kind of main base. And then we might get some engineer in there a little bit. I tried to get it in last time. We ran out of time, but we'll try to get that in. And then, of course, we've also got a sponsored event, Black Desert Online for Xbox, the beta. So we're going to check that out because we played it on PC. Super fun game. Can't wait to try it out on Xbox, see how it plays. We'll be doing that later on as well. So lots of stuff going on tonight. And you know what? Instead of yappy yap, let's get into playing some games. Let's go. All right, let's do it, everybody. Boom, I feel like getting into some games today. I feel like playing some games. There we go. Let's get into it. Now, of course, when I first start the game, I'm going to be getting in and doing kind of like solo play. I'm going to be getting in and checking out my stuff, how all my stuff is organized. We're going to go around and we're going to be selling some stuff at the various different vendors that we learned last time. And I'm setting up what I call the Kismet cash run. So whenever you're low on cash, you need resources or whatever it is, I always set up a certain cash run that I go to certain vendors and whatnot, and I've done this in every Fallout ever, is where to go to get what you need, right? That's probably one of the most important parts of finding the resources that you need. Like, where are the resources at? How can I get those resources and make the stuff I need to make, whether it's weapons or armor or whatever it is. And just keep going through that kind of cycle of figuring that out. Right, so we figured out a whole bunch of stuff about razor grain soup. So we're going to work a bit on that probably first. We also were working on our base, and we removed our base around, and we found out some cool stuff that we'll be exploring tonight. Oh, bummer. Otherwise, the game will play it again on your next login. Oh, what a bummer. My thing cannot be placed. Why can it not be placed? Oh, that's okay. We'll just replace it ourselves. All right, so again, we're going to get into it here. Make sure my game's working. Oh, yeah. Now, we found this little spot right here, which is just awesome. Awesome. I'm right here by the vendor, right over here, Charleston Station. And we learned that you can go in and, of course, put down your camp, right? Now, right now, it says red, right? It's giving me red, but yesterday it was green, right? It was green. And I could put this camp down and take over this building. Now, apparently I can't do that right now because someone probably has their camp close by, or they have, yep, look at that right there. Right there. So someone has their camp in the same exact spot as us. So we can't do it on this server. So the cool thing is you can just go ahead and hit tab to cancel, and you're like, you know what? Switch me to another server. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave this world. Bada bing. And then we'll try again. Let's see if it gives us another shot at doing that spot. Oh, TR Jeffers coming in with a sub love. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that sub love. Thanks for coming in, showing that love. So we found this spot where we can actually use a pre-existing building as our building, right? So instead of building it up and wasting your kind of resources to build up your base, you can actually create a base. Now, one of the other things that we found last time, some jerk guy came in and he was wanted, and he came in and he wiped out our base, right? He came in and wiped it out. Now, it's no big deal because it doesn't cost that much to, just redo your base. No biggie. But whenever that happens, of course, you have to spend your time rebuilding and all that stuff. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can utilize the pre-existing buildings over here to be your building. That's right, it'll be your building, and they can't destroy that building, right? Oh, here it is. It logged in this time. Look it up here on the top. That's all my stuff up there. Those are all my things up there on the top. So we can actually build our base on top of this structure here. And I've got some stuff that's stored that we've been using. Right? Where's our angled thingy? Our angled thingy is not in there. We must have scrapped it. Or something. All right, one of these right here. So what you do is you go ahead and use one of these, and we just go ahead and just run it right up to the edge, or we can make it a little jump area, and of course you want to make it a little bit higher. And then we can just go ahead and magically walk right up there, right? And then we can just jump across, and voila, this is our base, right? Is that cool or what? I dig that. I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. Boom! Oh, Polarize coming in with a nuke of the stream. I'm just getting started. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it. We're getting rated, everybody. Show that love. Big time. Now, one of the problems is that wherever you put your camp down, right? So say, normally I originally put the camp down here. You can see by the circle that I have here. There we go. See the circle that I have going here. You can see that the actual camp was put down right here where this block was. But you can actually hit E for edit and pick it up and move it up to the top of your base. So if you're standing in your base and someone's attacking and whatnot, well, bam, you can just go right to it over here and say space to repair all structures. Now, of course, you have to have the resources to do that, which is not easy because, of course, you have such a limited storage to store that amount of resources. Now, they are going to increase it to 800, which will definitely help with that. But I think more importantly is learning to manage your resources no matter how much storage they give you. In this game, you have to learn to manage and to give up all that extra stuff that normally you would just keep throwing into your workbench if you were in Fallout 4 or another Fallout like New Vegas. You would just keep throwing that stuff in there and then, you know, come back to it later. But in here, you have to micromanage that stuff. Otherwise, it'll fill up really fast and then you're screwed, right? Then you are massively screwed because you're out of space and you can't do anything with it. So what we've done is we've taken over the top of this house here, which is pretty cool. And we've utilized the top of it as our actual base to get us up off the ground. So if anything attacks us, we'll be okay up here. Now we're also using some power right here to power our rocket turret that we unlocked last time, which is super fun. Then of course we've got our heavy turrets as well. Now it's a little awkward because this house is a bit angled, right? It'd be nice if it was flatter, but we were looking at this over here. What if we put our base up on the top there? We could do that if we want, and we're going to try it right now. Let's go. Before we get too far into it, let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go ahead and move our camp over this way to include these buildings, and let's see what we can do, because I love to see what we can do, right? Bam! All right, so it's going to go ahead and take all that stuff out of there, and we'll redo all that later. No big deal. But look at this building up here, right? That's just calling for me to build something up on the top. I like to build elevated bases. Now, I've got these stored bases here, like this, the Kismet kill box. And then this one, of course, that we were playing around with last time, which is pretty fun. Nice structure. But I'm not going to do any of those. We're going to go ahead and utilize what we already have. We're going to go ahead and utilize one of these foundations here and see how far we can get. Let's say right there. And then let's go ahead and use it up. You're like, Kismet, you're wasting your resources. Well, resources are there to be wasted, I think. They're there for you to test stuff out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try to put this ladder here. And as you see, it doesn't snap to this. Now, I find that the building system is better and worse at the same time. It's better. I love the way it's organized, and I love the way that it works, and the way it snaps is way better. But you have a lot less pieces. You have a lot less room to build stuff. So you have to work within those limitations, right? And we're going to try to do that there. Now let's try something else. Let's go ahead and try a roof and see if we can attach a roof to it. Can't do that. I find experimentation is my favorite part. His favorite part is trying to figure out stuff, right? So this is a floor. Let's go ahead and try a floor. Can we put a floor in there? No, we cannot. See, it doesn't snap floor-wise. So this piece right here is very autonomous, right? Very off by itself. So let's go ahead and just store that. And let's try a different piece. Like, let's start with our foundations. Like so. Bam. And then what we're going to do, again, to go in and see if we've got any other pieces that we've already stored. Yeah, we have some ladders already stored. Awesome. And then, of course, we're going to go ahead and use our ladder. And we're going to continue to use our stairs. Now, they're also very limited on stairs and whatnot. Now, I expect them to come in and add a lot of stuff to this over time, right? And they have an expansion coming out soon, or an update, of course, for the storage, as well as they have a long-term plan of adding additional content. Obviously, it's an online game. So look at this up here. Look at this. High up in the sky. Oh, but look at that. Look what it did. I had a feeling it was going to do that. It knocked me out of workshop mode, very much like Fallout 4. Thank you to Chris Gree for the dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing the follow button, and becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons. Welcome, welcome. Thank you also for that awesome host. Mount's done. Haha. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Paralyzer. Exactly, exactly. Now, again, if you ever have a problem in Fallout 76, here's what you do. Miss Dundon, thank you so much. Hopefully I got that anywhere close to right. Or MTS Dundon, I butcher everybody's names. It's part of my charm. Thank you for being here. I do a lot of building in Fallout 4. I've played 2,500 hours live here on stream. Doing all sorts of mega builds. We've done 6 playthroughs, all that kind of stuff. Now, some people have been bashing on Fallout 76, and some people, rightfully so, with too many bugs and issues and whatnot. But overall, the game is very, very fun. I find the game that fun. I don't take other people. I don't just get on the hate train, right? I do what I like to do and see if I enjoy it or not. Oh, look at this back here, though. Look at this back here. Nice flat spot back there. Now, one of our problems, though, is most items here in 76 is not like in Fallout 4. I can't just take a floor like this and then put it down on something, right, inside my settlement in Fallout 4, where you can just put it down on the ground, or you can just put a wall down and then make a fence line. You can't do that in 76. You've got to have a foundation. Now, that foundation also cannot be put down in buildings or connect to buildings. So to build up here would actually be incredibly difficult. What you'd have to do is actually use a foundation to bring your pieces to get them up here. Now, there are some things that we can do up here, which is we can go in, of course, put in our defenses way up here, which is just nothing else than epic, right? So we can put our defenses up here, way up here at the top, like so. Now, we're way up here, right? We can put our defenses up here pretty easily, right? We can also do a whole bunch of other stuff. We could go ahead and put all of our camp stuff up here, right? So say, oh, I should use my stored one. We can put all of our crafting up here on top of the base. Again, this gives you a little bit safety being way up here on top. And I like to do towers. I find that it's very, very limited to be able to do the kind of building that I like to do in-game. But it is still possible to do cool stuff. So there we are. We're up on top of this world up here. Fairly safe up here against any mobs just kind of coming up behind us, right? But, of course, they can still shoot at us and kill us up here. Case in point, if we want to blow up this thing right here. If I can hit it from up here, it can hit me from down there. Explosions. If you like explosions, you're in the right place. There are going to be plenty tonight. And again, if you're new to my stream, my name is Kismet. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon because I make billions, or millions, sometimes billions, even trillions of caps in game, or gold, or whatever it is. I find out the base mechanics, and then, of course, share it with you guys as we go along, giving you all my tips and techniques and whatnot. I'll fix my blue screen. I'm that guy. I'm that guy who's got to have it just so. Just so. There we go. There we go. I don't know. It's perfect before the stream, and then my blue screen gets all funky. So there we go. So if you can hit it down there, it can hit it up here. Now, of course, we can't be too close to certain locations. It won't let us get too close to the power plant there with our base. But there's a really nice part down here that we found. Now, of course, we got the problem is we're up here now, right? We're up here. How do we get down, right? There's a fallen pole there. Normally, when you see those fallen poles, you can run up them. That's a really hard one. Can't quite run up that one. I can also just say, YOLO! Boom! And just go for it. Right? Now, of course, this little place over here, we're going to utilize this place as part of our base, right? So we're going to use the front side of it, maybe for defense, or the sides of it for defense. But what we really want is we want this water. We want to utilize this water down here to make purified water. We want to utilize this space here, of course, to put down all of our goods that we want to farm and whatnot. Now, there's a big problem in the game of stuff will spawn inside your base. Or you can create, like, defenses around your base, but the problem is it still spawns or still ends up getting in your base somehow, right? Now, of course, I could use wood. I can use all sorts of stuff. But see right here, we've got the edge here, which doesn't quite touch the water. And that's why we were using this building, is we were trying to find a place. Now, this, of course, is just one of many bases that we're going to find and try out. But I love to try stuff out, right? I love to try new stuff. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to get as much of this water as I can, right? So we're going to push this way over this way. Get as much of this water as we can. So say right there. Now, also what that's going to get us is the top of this building. And, of course, all of this nice flat area here for our food and whatnot. And if we wanted to, we could, of course, create some foundations here with some walls and defend our food and whatnot over here, which is not a bad idea. And then we can utilize the front of this building as our actual defenses of our base. This cannot be destroyed, so someone can't come along and wipe out this building. They can wipe out your purifiers, though, and they can wipe out the rest of your stuff. But we're going to go ahead and try and see what we can build, and then we're going to go ahead and go on a cash run to basically fund the building of the rest of our base. So let's get into it. Let's get into some building. So again, the first thing we want to do is go ahead and establish our foundations here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually use one of these so that we can go ahead and utilize our foundations around the sides of our base. I kind of feel like I should start out here. Actually, I think that should be in more because we're going to need to go out a little bit and then square that off. Now, of course, every time I move this base, it costs me 25 cash, but that's okay. We're going to make lots of cash today. We're going to make a good amount of cash. Let's move it a little bit more further this way. Let's try that. There we go. Then again, look, the building is ours. We got some ghoulies over there that we can try out our turrets on here in a minute. And we're going to go ahead and, there we go, and put down our foundation to just try to create a kind of barrier to our entrance. There we go. And then the cool thing is you can pick this up. Come on. Or not. Normally you can. There we go. Sometimes a little funky. Sometimes a little funky. So you can move it, but it doesn't move your base. Notice your base, the circular area of your base is the same. Very, very useful. All right, and then we'll go ahead and put this in here, and we're going to just basically use this as a stairwell to get us up on the top here. Now, mobs are pretty dumb, so luckily. So we can go ahead and run. We can jump up here or not make it. Nice lag at the very second on which I jumped. So we can get up here like this. Now, we're going to try to be sneaky, and we're going to try to get our stuff in here. We're going to try to get our power in. Where's our power? Right here. Try to get our power up here. Right there. Try to get our rocket turret up here. Then we're going to connect our rocket turret. And then we're going to aggro. Get him! Yeah, see, for all the times that they've come in and they've killed you and they destroyed your base and you died in all the fallouts, that was for you guys. That was for you. So, very, very effective rocket turret. That's confirmed, everybody. That's confirmed. That's a one-shot. Nice. Nice, nice. So now we've got basically what I call the Kismet kill box. The Kismet kill box is an elevated defense system. A system where you can put it up high. You put a nice skinny platform on there. You put the turrets up there. They can fire in 360 degrees, of course, defending your base. Now, of course, we have obstructions here by the very nature of the roof itself. So we'll need to go ahead and just try to create our own kind of perimeter of our base to where our turrets can function. Now, I would actually want to go ahead and just use some rocket turrets this time. I do like to mix damage, by the way. I do like to mix lasers and rockets and so on. Now, it's going to take a little bit of finessing. As you can see, I'm doing a little finessing action to get it to sit there. Right? Now, that's another 2, so we're going to go ahead and connect that. Now, we've got 2 rocket turrets on that side. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweetness. Now, of course, we might get ganked from the back over here, so let's go ahead and see what else. Now, of course, if you notice, I've got these stored in my workbench. And you'll notice up there, there's a gray line and there's kind of a whitish yellow line. The whitish yellow line is the amount of stuff that I have put down. The gray line is the amount of stuff that I have stored in the workbench, which sucks because it also basically blocks your ability to build stuff when you have all this kind of random stuff built in your workbench. So that means that I have to either delete all of this stuff or I have to go and basically use it to build, right? So for right now, though, we want to go ahead and just kind of establish how we're going to do our power. Right now, power is one of those things that you won't want to get destroyed. So I typically put power up fairly high up, right? Fairly high up like this. Now, I'm actually going to move this power here in a minute, but this is just to show you what can be done. And we want our power to be nice and defended because, of course, if our power goes out, our turrets go out, right? So we're going to go ahead and put another rocket turret right over here. Right in this nice little corner here. Come on. Oh, I've exceeded the workshop, so I can't put it down. That's as many as I can put down. All right, well, we'll go ahead and just put down one of our regular turrets for now. Just to kind of watch our back, right? Just to watch our back. Oh, I made another one when I didn't need to make another one. Stop that. Now, there's a difference between what I just did. I just made one versus using my stored ones, which are in there. But it actually remembers if you have extra turrets as well in there, right here. It actually remembers how many turrets you have in the upper right-hand corner. So it doesn't really matter. You can put those down. It actually didn't use my resources. But you want to get in the habit of using your stored stuff versus making new stuff, which is what I just did, but it didn't really make new stuff. But you get the idea. You get the idea. Basically, it's a good habit to get into. There we go. We're putting our turrets down. Notice that it's now kind of changing. The yellow bar is getting longer, and the gray bar is getting smaller. And again, we've already got these in the workbench, so we might as well utilize them. There we go. Very nice. So we've got heavy defenses on this side. We've got our rocket turret up here, which can turn and fire in this direction. We've got multiple rocket turrets and whatnot. Now, one of the things, of course, I would want to do is have a platform here for the power to protect my power from it getting attacked, right? And have like an inside base where I can go in case mobs are attacking me. Now, this takes a lot more finesse and working with it to get it to be exactly as you want it to be. And, of course, I want it to also to be by the water so we can put our water purifiers down. Oh, starvation. Hold on, I'm dying from starvation. Story of my life. Hold on, let's get up here. Let's deal with some food. Now, in this particular game, it does not pause, right? It does not pause, so you constantly are having to manage your health and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and get this in here. Like so. And we'll go in, we'll do some crafting. Right over here. What do we need for our razor grain soup? We need a bunch of boiled water. All right, we got boiled water? There we go. Let's make some boiled water. Now, I'm just going to make a little bit of boiled water just so I can make some food. Right over here. Now, the great thing about soup is most soup is that it's both food and water at the same time. We're in this particular location so that we can literally... There's the vendor right there. There is the vendor right on that side. So our base is here and the vendor is there. And that's what we want. We want to be able to jump back to our base, take our stuff, go to the vendor, sell stuff to the vendor every time we log in. Now, it takes them a long time to reset, so we're going to be going to different vendors, but a pretty decent place to set up shop. Nice and close to a vendor, nice and close to water, nice and close to other resources that you may need right here. And, of course, if you get on a server that is blocking you, you do what I did. You leave that server, you log back in again, and most likely it'll put you on another server. All right, so let's go ahead and have our razor grain soup. There we go. We had a little bit of food and water. Now you're like, well, Kismet, you need a lot more boiled water. Well, watch this. I just run down here. I go ahead and hit R to collect. Now, one of the things about this game, of course, I'm going to get radiated a lot. One of the things about this game is that you can pick up a massive amount of water directly from the thing. Not from the pump. From the pump, it takes a long time. Look, I'm getting ghoulified. All right, that's pretty good. Now let's go ahead and use our Radaway. Some Rad-X. Get that going. I become a marsupial. Let's see, what is it? I love to see the different effects from getting radiated. Let's see, marsupial. Oh, did it go away? Oh, I think I took it away. Oh. Bummer. I took it away from healing myself. But yeah, you got all these different effects that happen when the more you get radiated. So you get these extra benefits. I really like that system. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to go into crafting. Now, again, this is very much like the survival mode. The survival mode in Fallout 4, where you, of course, you have to deal with your food and your water and your conditions and all sorts of other stuff that will happen to you along the way. Now, personally, I think they should make a slider bar for this. So you have the option of hitting spacebar 5 bazillion times, or going in and actually just saying, I want to make 50 of them, right? And then, of course, you know, you have to wait for the little thing to go whoop, 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 just like you were crafting in another game. But what I have to do is just hit the spacebar like 50 bazillion times. All right, there we go again. And here we go with razor grain. You're like, Kismet, where the heck did you get so much razor grain? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you for those who missed it. For those who missed it, I'm going to show you how to get serious cash money right now. Bam, there we go. Tons of razor grain soup. And then we're going to go right in here. We're going to go ahead and eat that soup. Watch as my health goes up. Over there. A little bit of radiated over here, but we good. We good over now. All right, so we got that done. Now, of course, we want to go and find our stash, which I don't think I have out yet. So we're going to need to try to coordinate a little base kind of up above this. Or even better, we could actually put the base up here where the ground acts as a defense against them hitting the bottom of our base. Very smart as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take out a bit of this stuff. We're just going to store it. We're going to hit R and then R again to store. R and then R again. Now, of course, if we don't have any power, we don't need turrets, right? We'll take these out because those are not doing us any good. All right, then we'll go ahead and just pick this one up. We'll go ahead and put it in position just to give us a little bit of defense while we're working, right? You don't want anything to sneak up on you. And this one's going to be in the way right here. So we're going to go ahead and just put this one off to the side. That gives a little defense against any mobs that are running up against us. Now, I find sometimes the turrets are not very attentive as they are in Fallout 4. Hey, El Fuzzy Nuts, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks, everybody, for being here again. If you're new to my stream, my name is Kismet. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon. I make millions, billions, even trillions of dollar bills, or in this case, caps, in-game learning techniques. I never cheat. I don't shortcut. I don't glitch. I don't do any of that stuff. I do it totally legit. I can do it on PC like I am right now, on Xbox, PS4, you name it. All the techniques apply to all the different platforms. All right, let's go ahead and pick our camp up again. Let's move it out of the way so we can go ahead and fuddle with this. Now, this is my favorite part of building, is called fuddling. That's right, we're going to fuddle around with this. We're going to put it up there and then take it away, and put it up there and take it away, and put it up there and take it away until we get it just how we want it to be. Right, so we're going to go ahead and store that stairs out of there. We're going to grab this foundation, and then we're going to get right over here. Now, I think I should raise it up just a bit. Maybe something like this. We're going to cut right into the edge here. Now, of course, also we want to look at how it squares out to the building. See how it's kind of angled there? So you always want to double check that, that it's kind of squared, at least squared enough where you can work with it. Like that. Now, it's never going to be perfect. You can spend hours trying to make that perfect. Go for it if that floats your boat. But we're going to get it as close as we can there to that edge. And then, of course, we're going to use our stored stuff. And we're going to go ahead and use our ladder. So we're starting with a foundation. And we're using... Oh, man. Come on now, everybody. Come on now. Look at that. Look at that sweetness. Look at that sweetness right there. Come on. That was pretty good for a first try. That was pretty good. That's thousands of hours of building right there. That was pretty sweet. All right. But I want to go ahead and raise it up a little bit. Raise it up a little bit because I want, obviously, to put some flooring down. So let's go ahead and try our flooring and see what happens. Let's go over here and see if it actually will snap. It will not snap well, but it will if we finagle it enough. I have a feeling that it will get in there. See, but cannot place because the object intersects with an existing object, all right? So Fallout 76, very, very smart in that way, that knows that you're clipping through other objects and will not let you do that. All right, so let's go ahead and try this a little bit more, but this time we're going to leave the ladder on there. We're going to try to move it. Notice it's not moving both of them at the same time. Now, in Fallout 4, I could hold down E, and basically it would give me both things, right? And I can actually tell it to grow the selection right here, C. So we're going to hit C to grow the selection, and then now we've got both of them, right? Except for this is budgeting. This is basically creating a blueprint of it, which is not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to move both of them at the same time, right? So we hit E, we move, it doesn't do it. I'm sorry, I don't make the game. It's just the way it goes. But at least we have an idea, and we know that we just need to kind of bring this up a bit so that it's not blocking or being blocked by the other objects. Now, we might also have to move it back if it's too close to the kind of skylight up there. We'll see. Let's go ahead and check it out. Again, fuddling around is fun. Now, of course, you don't need to jump up on this for some reason. They made this really awkward thing where you just kind of walk and you just kind of float your way up there. I don't know. It's like the edges of it have angles or something. Very odd. But you know what? I just use game mechanics. I just use whatever game mechanics they give me. All right. So let's go ahead and try some floors. I think I have one. Did I not store that other one? I did. All right. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that to snap right up here. Now, again, it's kind of awkward to do this stuff, right? You can also do your scroll wheel to scroll it away from you to make it a little bit less awkward. But I find it's pretty awkward to do it from that side. But if we come from this side, a lot less awkward. Second try, everybody. Second try. Come on now. That's some wicked building right there. That's some wicked epicness. Now, it's not quite perfectly straight, but that's okay. If we can build it, that's it. We done. We done it. We doed it. It done. That's it. All right. So the cool thing about that, again, we have a pre-existing non-destroyable building acting as an under area of my base. So there we go on the second try. That was pretty good. Pretty good. So there we go. So we flattened that out for a reason. Now, here's the problem. The problem is I want this to be twice as wide as this. You're like, Kismet, you're screwed, right? No, we're not screwed. Reverse engineer. You ready? We're going to reverse engineer a foundation that holds this up, and we're going to take this foundation out. And you're like, well, Kismet, you can't take that foundation out. You can't store that. You can't store that. You can't take that. You can't take it out of there. Right? Like if I want to take it and place it over here, right there, it won't let me do it. You know why? Because it cannot remove item. Part of it, try it again. Part of the structure would not be accessible. Right? So there's an accessible system in Fallout 76 that's not there in Fallout 4, that you have to have it connected to a foundation. That foundation, of course, then connected to the upper part there. So, of course, we want to reverse engineer now that we got it exactly how we want it to go. Now, normally, by the way, if this was Fallout 4, I would go and hold down E and just rotate the structure a little bit. Razor Cannon, hey, what's up down there, bro? I forget how to say hi. Hello, Razor Cannon. What's up, bro? Hello. I would take it and I would fine-tune it and make it perfect. But, I mean, we could also blueprint it and then put it down and then fine-tune it later if we so chose, which would be a great thing to do right here is just to fine-tune how you have your base sitting up on the roof here. And you can also move it backwards and then move it down so that it's not so high up as well. So we could definitely work on that. But, again, we're going to reverse engineer. Let's get into that right now. So the first thing we want to do, of course, is utilize another floor right over here. And we want to go ahead and build. See, now there's a nice guy. You see that? I'd say that 95% of the players in Fallout are like that guy. They're like that guy. Like, hey, how you doing? What's up? And then you're like, hey, what's up? Right? That's how most Fallout players are. There's a very small amount of them that are just complete a-holes. And, of course, Bethesda very smartly did not give them too much ammunition to come in here and just make it not fun for everybody else. See, you want to have nice people who are in there hanging out and being cool and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and reverse engineer our stuff here by using some stairs to go ahead and take it back down the other way. Like so. So now we've done this way. We've offset it. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you have already figured it out. You just go ahead and put a foundation down there. Now, once that foundation is in place, it's now holding the rest of this up. And you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. There you go. I just saved hours of your life. I just saved hours of your life by reverse engineering stuff. And you're like, whoa, Kismet, you blew my mind, bro. You blew my mind. There we go. And I knew I was going to do that before I even started. Because once you understand the techniques, that's where the magic is. That's where you're really starting to kick butt. And you're like, oh, I get it. Now you do this and you reverse back this way. And then you get it to do what you want to do. I obviously don't want it in the water. In the water is where I want my purifiers, right? I want my base to be up here and utilizing this kind of top part to protect my power, protect me while I am up here doing my thing. right? Now, of course, you got to remember that it's very, very limited in the amount of stuff that you can do. Now, of course, if I'm mega building, by the way, I will not leave this stuff like this. If I'm mega building, I will actually rotate it so all the boards align with each other, right? Like this. That's typically how I do mega building, is everything has to be just so. Right? So let's go ahead and put some more floors down. Over here and over here. So now we've established our kind of upper level base. Again, we have a bit of they're firing from the front and they're trying to hit the bottom of our base. Well, guess what? Pretty hard to hit the bottom of our base having this kind of as a shield from this direction, right? Now, I've seen them come from this direction. As you saw, there were some ghouls there. They're also going to come from town over there. They're going to run down the street behind us here. And, of course, the best thing to know, both in Fallout 4 and 76 and everything else, is where the mobs are going to be coming from, especially you're building bases. Like in Fallout 4, if you know where they usually attack your bases from, you can, of course, build defenses to defend in those directions. Now, I do not have a large enough budget in this game to build what I would consider a mega base, or to build a base, even a basic base. Even a basic base is hard to do in here. You've got to be very attentive to what you're spending on what, right? What's the most valuable thing to spend your build budget on? Now, for me, of course, it's the crafting stations, and of course, being defended over here. We're going to go ahead and utilize our walls now to build our base right over here. Now, one of the cool things you can do, and one of the reasons why I really like this build system, is you can actually make it into a door or a wall or a window or whatever it is. Now, it costs you the same to build one with windows than to build one without windows, so you might as well put some windows in. Now, we're going to do a little bit of trying to clip through there. Not going to let us do that. That's okay. That's okay. At least we'll have a place to dash behind should we get in trouble. Now, the reason why I'm going to put windows in is so that I can, of course, if I'm in trouble, I can go ahead and open the windows, pew, 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 be good. Now, here's our doorway, and then more windows, like so. All right, now we're fairly protected against getting shot. Now, of course, we've also got this problem of this gaping hole right here, right? Now, of course, if this is Fallout 4, we could, of course, just take our walls, connect them like this way, right? Connect them like this, or just run some walls and just set them down to protect us down there, but it does not do that here in Fallout 76. But you can actually use your, thanks for the follow, by the way, Channel of Awesome. Well, thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons. Also, Drizzle Logan coming in, and Crazy Games coming in as well. Thank you for all of those follows, becoming part of the Tycoons up in here. Now, I'm showing you a little awesome spot that we did find, and we're working on it right here. Now, some other things that you can do is you can go through and you can use the smaller walls, like this, and try to clip through there. Now, I've seen that work, and you can also put try to put smaller walls up above, which I think that should work right there, right? Just snapping it to the top, but it doesn't. You can also go in and you can create other inner walls, like so, right? Create an inner wall, which will protect you against that thing. Or you can do a half wall that will protect you against them, because you don't really need a full wall, right? You don't need a full wall in there to protect you against getting attacked over here. Now, of course, the smarter thing, which is a lot harder, and you're like, Kismet, no way. Yeah, the smarter thing is to start over. I know that sucks. I know it sucks to start over, but if you want it to be just so, then you want to go through and just store it all again. You can do it fast. Come on, watch how fast I do this again. Ready? You're going to hit R to store all these back in the thing. I'm hitting R twice. So R and R, R and R, R and R, because you already know how to do it now. You got it down in your brain. You know exactly what you want to build. Now, me, I've been a graphic designer and also 3D animator and all of that. 3D artist for a very long time. I studied architecture and whatnot, drafting and all of that. So I could visualize this entire thing before I even began in my head. And if you can't do that, that's okay. That's okay. Just along the way, go in there and kind of experiment until you get it just so, just how you want it to be. Now, me, I don't like to leave it like that. Also, it's a little crooked. I don't like leaving it like that either. But we know how to start it, right? We know where to start the base now because we have this piece. This piece is our cornerstone, our piece that now tells us exactly how high up to be, exactly how far back to be to make it work. So we're going to pick this up. Now watch what happens though. When I pick it up, in Fallout 4, that piece would move. So big ups to Bethesda for making the piece not move when I pick it up, right? Because it's very precisely in a very exact positioning that I need to adjust to fix it way up there from down here. So I'm going to just turn it a little bit. I'm going to back up a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. And then put it down. There we go. So you can see that we can use this as our kind of our cornerstone piece now, because we know when we put our stuff back in again, and again, working forwards and then working backwards is an incredibly great way of making stuff do what you want it to do. All right, there's a second one in there. And then over here, we'll rotate this just to make it so. Now, it loves to do half spaces. I wish there was a way to control the snapping a bit better, to turn the snapping on and off. It is kind of annoying that it does half snaps like that. Though, of course, in Fallout 4, you'd have trouble making it do half snaps. But right in here, you can do it quite well. Now, again, we'll go ahead and do this. Look at this. We've got plenty of room now. We're not blocked by that. Again, I'm not even trying to go fast. I'm going fast even without trying. Again, we've lined up all the boards, so the boards are going in the same direction. And you guys know the rest. You guys know the rest. Easy, right? Easy, easy. Now, if it was me, I would actually change this one to a door. Now, again, we've already put this down once. We've already stored it. But now we can pick it back up again and change it to something else. Big thumbs up, Bethesda. Great job. Amazingly done. I love that. I love that part of the system. I absolutely love it. That's a home run. That's a home run. And there's a lot of home runs here in Fallout 76. There's some failures, too. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be Mr. Kiss some butt, right? I don't kiss butt. I'm terrible at kissing butt, so I don't bother. I tell it like it is. This is fantastically done. Whoever went through and upgraded this system and who thought this stuff up and made these changes to the build system did a great job, and I give credit where credit is due. I don't just get on the hate train and say, wah, 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 wah. Right? I don't bother. I don't bother with a hate train. Now, the reason why I'm going to go ahead and put a doorway there is so that I can step out here whenever I want to and adjust my turrets or do whatever I want to do out here on my new front porch. Which is basically what this is. This is my front porch now. Right? Which is pretty cool. And again, we've got the rest of these that we can go through. Notice this one's window. Oh, no problem. Boom. Oh, no problem. Boom. Now it's a door. Right? Oh, well, this one's a door. Well, that one's a window. Right? Nice, nice. I love it. I love it a lot. Why am I? Oh, because I switched the thing. All right. Let's go ahead and then put in another wall over here. And there we go. Now, do I need to use full-size walls? Not at all. Not at all. Now, one of the problems with the doors, though, if you do use this door with a window, they can shoot through that door. I have not tried any other doors because for some reason, they're all locked. They're all locked because I have not found the plans, basically. But if you have the ability to do a solid door, I strongly suggest to do a solid door without windows. I don't think I have any of these unlocked. No, I have 0 unlocked. All right, we got to work on that, too. Doors. But we're going to go ahead and just use this door here. We'll put one over there. And actually, do I have any stored? I think I had just the one stored. Yeah, all right. And then, of course, again, now what you're going to find is while you're building and rebuilding and readjusting your stuff over and over again, you're going to find that that you have to scrap stuff, right? That you're like, ah, gosh, I'm out of build space. Well, you can do the scrapping the old school Fallout 4 way, and I usually revert to that way. I'm so used to doing it that way, where you take it and you put it down, and then you scrap it, right? So say you got 50 walls that are stored in your workbench. I'll put all 50 walls down, and then I'll scrap every wall. But in Fallout 76, they improved that, where you can scrap it right in here. Now, if I move my big fat head out of the way, right here, you've got build, and behind that, you got scrap right here. So you can actually scrap it in the menu. You don't have to put it down, which is awesome. So, of course, there's some things in here we no longer need. We don't need the stairs. We're already utilizing the stairs. So we can go ahead and we can scrap those. Let's get rid of those. Now, we tried to use this useless thing. So we're going to go ahead and scrap that as well. Now, of course, watch up there. in that upper right-hand corner. As I scrap, you see I got a little bit of that gray part back again. And again, we don't need this foundation right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Nicely done. And we'll get rid of all those extra foundations because we only need one now. We've got this jump thing that we can use to get up here, but we're actually using an entrance. So we're going to go ahead and scrap those. Now those are gone. We've also got this stored thing like this up here like that, which is kind of a weird thing to be stored, but let's go ahead and open the door here. We'll run down. And then we'll go ahead and just put this thing down. We'll let us this way. There we go. And then do the old school way of where you just say scrap, R, spacebar, R, spacebar, R, spacebar. Which we were using to get up on top of that building over there, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So that just makes me give the idea, activates my creativity. It says, wow, what buildings could I build my thing by and then take over that building, right? Take over the top of the building, the side of the building, the inside of the building. Utilize a non-destructible building to my advantage. See, now look, I've got my building up on top of this other building right here. There we go. Now, again, the whole purpose of this inside area is to protect your stuff that you have up here, right? Your butt and the butt of other stuff. Now, it's raining right now, and of course, most of you know in Fallout, whenever you try to put something above yourself so that it doesn't rain in your base, that it will still rain inside of your base. But let's go ahead and try it anyway, because you know what? One day, Bethesda will build a game where it will not rain on your head if you go ahead and put a nice ceiling in, and then you... Wait a minute! What? What? Over here. Raining. Over here. Not raining. So another +1 for Fallout 76. So they have got it going on. Hello, I was thinking of buying Fallout 76, but it's any better than the release. It is much better than the release. They have a lot of new stuff coming out. Here's what I would do, Droko. If you've never played Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4, I would play one of those. I would play one of those, especially Fallout 4, one of my favorite games of all time. Of course, I love me some RPG. If you love some old school RPG, New Vegas all the way, and Fallout 3 as well. Of course, you know, there's always the battle between which one's better, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4, right? And a lot of people go, no, New Vegas is the best. You suck. And then some of you be like, no, Fallout 4 is the best. You suck because it has building. And then some people be like, no, Fallout 3 is the original, man. It's the best. But of course, Fallout 1 is the original, and which has it still holds up today, storyline. If you like turn-based games, I strongly recommend that one as well. But if you're looking to get Fallout 76, it is way better than release. But I would wait until the 800 storage comes in. I would wait until you see all of the new expansion stuff that's coming down the line. Mods, let's go ahead and grab that latest version of their thing, which I forget it is, in the vault. Something like that. Let's throw that in the chat for Droko, so he can, hopefully I'm getting your name right. I butcher everybody's name. That's part of my charm. Let's go ahead and put that in the chat for him, just to make it super easy. You can go see what the new changes are. You can see what changes they've already made to the game. They've done a lot of great changes to the game. Now, remember, it is a multiplayer, online game. You are coming out of the vault. You are the first people out there. It's not like Star Trek, where go where no one's gone before, and then when you get there, everybody's there, right? It's not that. It's a prequel to all the other Fallouts, and basically, you're the first one out of the vault, and of course, you can hang out with your buddies and run around and have a good time. Now, I find very few people are a-holes in this game. There is a few, but most of the time you can very easily counter any kind of jerk stuff that they do, right? If they come in and they start, talking bad to you, whatever, just switch servers, right? Because it's very hard for them to just switch to the same server as you unless they're in your friends list. Then they can switch your server, remove them from your friends list. That's what I would do. Now, of course, we got an inside area here where I don't have to deal with the elements and whatnot. Not that it really matters. It's not like I'm going to get a cold because it's raining inside my base, right? Now, one of the problems in Fallout 4 is this problem of rain. It rains in your base even if you have ceilings. So they did solve that. So again, +1 to the building system. And people like to get on the hate train. They like to get on the hate train because, they had this bug or the servers weren't working. Like any online game ever had perfect server launch, right? That never had any server issues at launch, right? I had this person comment on, I think it was on a Twitter post that I put up. And he said, well, Apex Legends launched without any problems whatsoever. I've never had any issues. And just because he's never had any issue doesn't mean other people had any issues. And I've already heard about that they had server issues on launch. And I typed it in there. I'm like, look, here it is. Server issues on launch, just like everything else. Thank you so much. That was very helpful. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll tell it to you straight. Now, just so you know, Bethesda is my bros. I like Bethesda. I like what they've done. I love Skyrim. I love Fallout 4. I love New Vegas and 3. I love all of that stuff they put out. I like their other games. Of course, Elder Scrolls series is amazing and all of that. So I give them a bit of a leeway. And I've done that for every game manufacturer. I give them that good 6 months on an online game. And that's what you should always do. When someone launches an online game, give them that first 6 months to find all the issues and get on there. And this is their first online game, too. So they got to go through the pain and suffering that everybody else has already done, right? Because they're mainly known for first-person thing. Now, some of the things that I would suggest, of course, using the bulk system to reduce the weight of all the junk. Also, they should go through and reevaluate some of their things because they are way too heavy. Like books are one. That's a lot. That's a lot. Books weigh 1, as much as a boulder does, basically, or as much as part of your power armor. In your thing, it weighs the same, right? Like if you go in and you look at the weight, let's go in and look at the weight of, say, your items here, right? Like my hat weighs 0.1, right? I got a hat on, right? If you took a hat and a book, a burnt book, by the way, of course, a burnt book is going to weigh less because, of course, it's been charred and, of course, pieces of it have been burnt away. But if you take a burnt book and a hat, the burnt book weighs 10 times as much. Now, double as much, maybe, but 10 times as much? 10 times as much as a hat? A book weighs that? I doubt that. I doubt that. So there's some like math errors in there that they need to work on. Definitely that some of this stuff, like they had their bobby pins used to weigh a lot. But then, of course, they listened to feedback. They listened to feedback and they said, yo, your bobby pins weigh way too much. You got to downscale those babies. I got 50 bobby pins on me or 20 bobby pins on me, and I'm like carrying a boulder around on my back, right? It's so heavy. And they solved it, they changed it, and they fixed it. That's how you tell a good game company from a sucky game company. A good game company will listen to feedback, find the best feedback, the most effective feedback, and put resources in place to fix that problem. And that's what they're doing. So I give them credit for that. Now, you know, we're coming up on that 6 months, though. So get in there and start hitting those home runs. Now, again, a lot of the systems are really great. The build system is really fun. It is very limited. And, of course, doing the crafting is fun and whatnot. So let's get into some more crafting. All right. So, of course, one of the main things that I do need is my storage. Right. So we're going to just stick that over there in the corner. What's one of the main things that I use building-wise is definitely this right here, which is my my weapons workbench. We'll put that right there. Another thing that I find that I use a lot is this right here. Now, of course, I don't want to obstruct these two by putting it too close to that. So I want to kind of just nudge it off to the side here. Very nice. All right. And this is, you can make ammo in there. You can bulk stuff. You can do all sorts of fun stuff in there. In your little thingy. Forgot the name of it now. And, of course, we want a cooking stove. Oh, LBS Lucky says, watch this as I drop an elbow drop and say hello with that sub level 4. Look at that, unlocking those slots, almost there to that new sub badge. Here it comes. Gonna drop in there into the thing. Hi, Oliver, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for being here in the stream. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday night. We got so much epic stuff lined up for you tonight. We got so much epic stuff on the stream tonight, so settle in. Get yourself some snacks, get yourself some food, maybe some significant other that you like, you bundle with them, and enjoy the show, because we're going to have lots of fun. So we're going to be playing some Fallout. We're going to check in on our 7 Days to Die. We're going to try to get some Astro Engineer in, and then throw in some Black Desert Online in there as well. On Xbox, by the way, there's a beta version of it for the Xbox. Want to check it out? We've tried it on PC. Now we're going to try it on Xbox, which is pretty epic as well. So we're going to go ahead and put this right here just so we can still kind of nudge up here. Now, I find that you can put your stash close to this, right? You can still use your cooking stove and your tinker's workbench and your weapons workbench here. Now, me, I would, because it's in the corner, I would go ahead and just put it at an angle just for aesthetics. Just for aesthetics, right? I mean, you can leave it flat there. It doesn't really matter. But also what you can do here is you can literally just like salvage, cook, weapons, right? Or if you're really tricky, tinkers and get, oh, look at that, everybody. Look at that, look at that. And of course, first person would be a lot easier. Nudge a little bit closer. You get right where you can see it. Right? Oh, there we go. And then now you can work all of them at the same time if you so desire. All right, so we also need something else, though. We do need the rest of our workbenches, which is, of course, our armor workbench right here. Now, of course, they have different styles of these workbenches as well. There's our armor workbench. And then before we put in our chemistry one, we need some power. Now, again, the whole reason I built this thing here is, of course, to house my power and protect my power against random mobs shooting it. Now, if a player comes up who's level 165 like that other guy last night and starts shooting my stuff and blows it up, oh well, I'll just rebuild it again. But you can see that we can't quite put it in there because of the height limit, right? There's a height limit. There's a height limit, which won't allow us to put it in there, right? We can put it there, but not here. So really what I want to do is I want to take that into consideration, and we're going to go ahead and scrap this stuff out so it didn't take up room in my storage. And then we're going to go ahead and put our power up in here just to try to protect our power like so. Now, let's see how many of these we can get in here. I'm hoping to get 3 of them in. So there's 1. There's 2. Again, I have actually turned it so that I can get the power to line up. Yep, that side. That's all win right there. That's all win. All right, bam. Connected all these together. And I'm going to go ahead and redundantly connect them this way. There we go. So we've got kind of a triangle of power. Now we've got power. Now we got to get the power from here outside because we want to do some purifiers. Let's go. Let's go check it out. So now down here in our little spit of land, we're going to go ahead and put down some purifiers like so. So we're going to go ahead and just start with just a few of them here because each one of these is going to take 10. Right now, I have not unlocked the 100 yet, and when I do, then I'll be making a lot of purifiers. But for right now, we're going to have to work within our limits. So let's go ahead and actually, let's start with 2. 2 is going to be good, I think, for right now. There we go. So we're going to start with 2 purifiers. And, of course, I hit the space bar to connect them together. Now, in Fallout 4, this is how I make my money, is these purifiers. What I'll do is I'll start the game, and by level 5, I'll be making 5,000 caps every 2 days in game. No cheating, no shortcutting. I can do it in vanilla. I can do it on PC, Xbox, or PS4. You can too. You can be a Wasteland Tycoon as well. And what I do is I take the water, and of course I use a portion of that water to supply my settlement. Then the rest of it, I sell it to the vendor, buy more resources, and guess what? Now I go from 1 and I've gone to 2. Then I get those resources. I've gone from 2 to 4. 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, and before you know it, I'm making 8,000 caps every 2 days in game. Then I'm making 10,000, then I'm making 20,000, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000 bottle caps every couple days in game because I run my settlements in Fallout 4 like a business, right? They're in business to make me money so I can, of course, further expand our settlement empire. As I do. But for in here, it doesn't really count toward that. What it counts toward is it counts toward, of course, making resources and making food and water and, of course, all of that other stuff, which you can, of course, make and sell to the vendor, which allows you to buy other stuff every time you log on, right? So very, very cool way of doing cash. Now, we're using our base to generate us cash because that's what we're doing here. We're doing a cash run. And you're like, well, Kismet, you're not going anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere to make cash. Your base is a great way to make you cash. So let's keep it going. Now out here, I would love, love, love to have enough budget in my settlement to go in and, of course, create a little perimeter wall all the way around here and protect my food and all that stuff down in here. But that is typically not possible because I would have to give up everything else to do that. It's very, very limited. Keep that in mind when you are going to play the game. It is very limited in that way. But what I am going to do is try to shelter it a little bit by putting it here on the inside by the water, which is going to create a natural kind of half fan. Log it in right in my thing. I'm going to create kind of a natural barrier because of this stuff on that side. Now, of course, if they attack from this side, you're going to be in trouble. But basically what we're going to do is just line this edge here with some mute fruit. Like so. And we're going to let that grow. Now, someone could come along and be an a-hole and destroy our mute fruit. And someone could come along, our mobs could come along and also do the same and destroy it. But the whole point of this, oh, that looks pretty cool. Like a little line thing. And basically, the whole point of it is so that we have enough mute fruit to make adhesive. That's what we're working on. So you're like, well, Kismet, I can just go buy adhesive. Yeah, true. You could. Or you could make it yourself and save yourself tons of cash. Because saving money or getting stuff for free is also making money. Both in real life and in game. I'm also a tycoon in real life. That's right. 1,000 Kismet candy bars gave out last time at TwitchCon, as well as I gave away 1,000 free desserts. I know I'm awesome. What can I say? What can I say? I try to do awesome stuff for you guys. You're like, well, Kismet, how much you make doing this? I make zero. I put everything back in the stream. I put everything back in the stream so I can do awesome stuff like that. So I can send out candy bars and all of that fun stuff. There we go. And Droko says, you know what, Kismet? Thank you so much for the help. I'm going to be so nice as to drop the Dragon Hammer or drop the sub love right here in the stream. Let's show them lots of love. There's nothing like somebody coming in the stream, asking for feedback and being super cool like that. I love it when people do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And again, you will find that I'm always honest and straightforward with you here in the stream. I don't BS. I don't cowtail to advertise and whatnot. Now, I've gotten lots of free copies of Fallout 76 to give out here on the stream from Bethesda directly. I am partnered with Bethesda as well as a bunch of other companies as well to, of course, bring you guys epic content. But, as I always say, I'll tell it to you straight. If it sucks, right? And I will tell you if it sucks, but I always come up with a solution to a problem. If something has an issue, I always come up with a solution to that particular issue. And I love to explore and I love to learn stuff on my own, right? I don't like people just to fast track me because you don't really learn if somebody does it for you. And there might be something that you make a mistake or an error or you do it wrong and that leads you to a new discovery, right? Doing something wrong or failing or making a mistake is a vital part of just being a human being, right? Whether you're in game or in life, right? Somehow along the way when you're growing up, you think or people assume that you're perfect and you're never going to make a mistake. You absolutely are. Every person who's ever lived, every person living right now, and every person who's ever going to live until we're replaced by robots, but of course we've built the robots, so the robots will be imperfect, so there you go, make mistakes. No matter how much they try to act like they don't, guess what? They were a baby once, they stood up, they didn't know how to stand, and they fell over on their face. So there you go. Everybody starts in the same place. Everybody starts in the same place. They make mistakes. Give yourself the freedom to make mistakes. Give yourself the freedom because, boy, does it lift a lot of the weight off your shoulders that you're always worried about failing. Oh, speaking of awesome people, 20 months. Holy mackerel. That means we're just 4 months away between that 2-year sub button. Pretty awesome. Thank you so much, Gwen. Of course, my awesome mod. Show her lots of love in the chat, everybody. Now, again, the more you participate in chat, the more Kiz Caps you're going to get, which means the more chance of winning stuff like Fallout 76. I give away hundreds of games worth thousands of dollars here in the stream. I contact developers. I contact people like Bethesda, and I say, hey, you got some codes to give out to my peeps? And they're like, sure, Kismet. Here you go. Right? That's what I do. My job is to make your life more awesome. I like to make other people more awesome. That's the way you'll see me build here in Fallout 76. My build is a charisma build because I can make everybody else more awesome. I can make them heal. I can give them a better deal. I can do all sorts of stuff because I have very high charisma. I can share out really high-end cards. Even cards with 4 stars I can share out, which we discovered yesterday, right? So a lot of fun stuff. Now, of course, you don't have to do the same build as me. You can do whatever you want. If you prefer more of a shadow build or a stealth build, if you prefer more of a run and gun DPS build, if you prefer a non-power armor build, whatever you prefer, that's the great thing about Fallout is you can choose who to be and you can play through different styles each time. So it has a real high replayability. Now, one of the things here, which is another home run in Fallout 76, is the pack system. Is this card system is an absolute home run. Hands down, the best thing they added to Fallout 76. Now that we have this, I want this in Fallout 4. I want this in every other Fallout that ever comes out because this allows me to be somebody different every day. It allows me to be a healer today and a lone wanderer tomorrow, right? It allows me to do a whole bunch of different stuff simultaneously. All right, so we've got our purifiers down here. Now we got a bit of a problem. How do we get our power from up here down there? Now, of course, the cool thing would be to do this, right? Go over here, open up the window, run it from right here, hit the space bar, and run it out the window. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know, maybe. No, it's not quite perfectly through the window. Now, could we get it through the window? I don't know. I have a feeling it still wouldn't work through the window, but it is worth a try. Now, let's go see this one over here. Is that one coming out the window? No, it's kind of hitting the floor, right? So we could kind of finagle it, right? We could fuddle with it to try to get it to do that. So here's what we could do. We could take this. We could try to rotate it so it's aiming right out the window, right? We'll open up that, and we'll go ahead and do it. And you're like, well, Kismet, do you know if this works? No, I've never tried it before. I'm trying it right now with you guys. We're going to do it together. Let's go. Let's go. I love to experiment with stuff. See, it doesn't quite work. But then what if we move this back? All right, is that going to work? I'm getting radiated because I'm in the water. Such is the way it goes. Now, you have to go back and forth a lot to test this stuff out. Now, I could sit here and finagle it, I think. I could finagle it, spend some time trying to make that work. A little bit left. Now, all I got to do is connect it to one of them, and then I don't have to connect it to the other. Try a little bit of that, right? And again, we could finagle this all day. We could try this out. Now, one of the problems with a lot of different games is it won't detect whether it's clipping or not, right? Like, it won't detect whether it's clipping. Now, look, that's a win right there. That's pretty much a win, except for it is clipping a little bit on the top there. But that is through the window. That should work, right? Same thing over here. That should work. Now, what we can also do is try to work around the issue, right? First thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and store this wall in there. Then we'll go ahead and connect it, which should work, right? Bam, easy mode, right? And, of course, if we want our base to look legit, not just, like, cheating and stuff, we can go ahead and do that. See, that works. Now those water purifiers are running, right? But if we were smart, we would work around the shortcomings of the system to bend it to our will. We want it to do what we want it to do, right? We want it to go right here and snap it in there. Now, if I was in Fallout 4, I could make that work. I could make that work easily through that window. But in Fallout 76, it has a much better clipping protection and detection than it does in Fallout 4. Right, so let's go in now and let's go ahead and take this out. Go ahead and scrap that. Oh, we got to scrap the line. All right. And let's try something different. Let's try something different. Like this. Now, of course, there's a... What the heck are you doing? Oh. It's like automatically switched. Hold on a second, everybody. I'll lose my sound now. I lost my sound! Dang it! Dang it, dang it, dang it. Hold on. I got a little HDMI switcher that switched from, it just like randomly switches sometimes. It decides that it wants to switch. Yeah, I'm going to lose my sound. All right, we'll fix that in a second. So basically what we can do is something even easier, is to use one of these things right here. Now, the cool thing that they've done, again, with the building system, watch this. You can just take the one, and say you made this one, right? And you're like, oh, God, and I got to scrap it and make the other one like you would have to do in Fallout 4. Not in this game. You can go ahead and make it however you want, right? Now, me, I would wanted to put it on the top, right? To put it up on the top here, or to set it on something. I can set it on the floor here. We can set it down here. We can set it on top of here, right, to elevate it. But what I would want to do is put it right on the top of the wall, right there. And the reason why is so I could chain it up and then chain it across. Now, there's other things that we can do. We go ahead and just do it sideways first and then put it up on the thing and all of that. Of course, you can also try to put it in the window, like so. All right, so here's it gets kind of funky, right? When you're trying to put it in the window, it's on the floor, trying to do the thing. But we're getting a little bit of window action there, right? Try to fool around with it, try to fuddle with it. Oh, it's not working. Oh, bummer. Bummer, bummer. Also, you know, if you were really trying to do it, you could try to put it on the window seal, like this, right? I mean, that's what I would do. I would put it just like that on the window seal. and run it out of there, but that does not work as well. So we've got that problem. Now, another thing we can also do with our power is to utilize our other things, right? We could utilize one of these, which is our power pylon from Fallout 4, which is pretty cool. Now, they have the bigger power pylons, which I have not unlocked, which would be perfect because it would go over the top of the thing. But let's go ahead and try out a smaller power pylon here and run that. Again, I apologize for the sound. We'll go ahead and work on that in just a moment. So again, doesn't quite work. But this, now we've got a easier way of adjusting this, right? We can go ahead and just get closer. Literally just stick it like this and then run it. Run it out the window. It's still not working, right? But that looks legit to me. Maybe this way a little bit. Maybe this way just a little. So that just worked. That just worked. So again, big ups to the Fallout 76 building team, because that actually works. A lot of games would treat this wall, because it is a multiple wall too, because it's a solid wall, would treat it as a solid wall, and you would not be able to do that, right? Because I've never tried to do it from there, but I have tried to do it from one of these, and it worked. Now, if we close the window, we're still protected against there. Right? And we'll just, RP a little bit and say that we drilled a hole right there and we ran the cord through it or whatnot, or we disconnect it when we open it or whatever. You can put your own RP thing in there, but you still can close the window. So you're welcome. You're welcome. That's how you solve that particular problem. Now, of course, this actually is in my way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out right here. We're going to go ahead and scrap that. There we go. We're going to take this. We're going to move it over here. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and open up this window. We're going to go ahead and grab this thing again. And we're going to run it out here. But this time, I'm going to try to run it to this one. Can't run it to that one, but we can run it to this one. There we go. Very nice. Now both of them are locked in. And what that does, it gives me more space than what you can do. See? There you go. Very, very smart system. I like the new build system. Now, the reason why I didn't want that to be right there is because I want to utilize that space, right? If I got that space, I want to utilize it for the rest of my stuff I have stored, which in this case is my chemical workbench. Now, I could turn it this way, but I'm not a big fan of obscuring your stuff, right? I prefer to put these kind of up against the wall, like so. There we go. So we've got that going. So we've got 3 of them going right now. We've got 2 water purifiers going. They're running outside the window. We're good. There we go. Got it. Got it. Hey, Kevin, what's up? What's up? So again, experimentation is a lot of the fun, right? Is experimenting to see if you can make stuff happen. Now, the reason why this wasn't working is because it was being obscured by its own edge, and basically was saying that it couldn't go through the window. So I used this kind of power pylon thing to direct it out the window, and there we go. Our stuff is running. Now, what else do we need to do? Well, other stuff that we have stored, of course, is our potatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same kind of thing and utilize this kind of cool rounded edge. Like so. And I'm sorry about my sound. My Xbox likes to take over and screw up my sound from time to time. Let's go ahead and see if I can get my sound working again. If not, I'll have to probably restart, which will suck. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to have to restart. That's a bummer. Let me see if I can hear my other sound. Let's see. Oh, yeah. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard, by the way. All right, so we got our base going here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out, and I have a high chance that someone else's base is going to be here when I log back in. So we're going to go ahead and quit the desktop. I'm going to bring up my backdrop here. Whoop. While we fix this. And thanks to my Xbox for screwing me over. Microsoft, thanks again. Appreciate it. If it isn't a Microsoft updater, it's something else screwing me up. All right, let's see if we get our sound now. All right, sound's working now. I find what happens is if it switches and I'm in Fallout, even in Fallout 4, it'll basically take my sound away. So let's get into it. let's get back into it. Now, cross your fingers that no one else's base is going to be where our base is, right? Let's see. Kismet farming level increased to 100. Yes, I did see that. I did see a lot of the new stuff coming down the road. I did see they're also increasing the storage to 800 and a whole bunch of other stuff. Did we do that link? We throw that link out there, Chewy? I think I missed it in the chat. I don't see it in the chat. I think you might have missed it. I think you might have missed it. Gwen or Dragon or whoever, if we could go ahead and throw that link out. I don't think Chewy heard me or he got distracted or something. I don't know. We can find the link for the Vault thing from Bethesda, which tells about the upcoming changes that are coming. I asked Chewy to throw that in for Draco earlier. I think he missed it. That's okay. We'll get it. We'll throw it in there now. So throw it in there. All right, so cool. Look, we logged in. Our base is back in the same exact position. Styling. All of our stuff is connected and working. Very, very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we also have any additional food here. We do not. So we're good, right? We're good. Now, the problem with the food also is it spoils. Now, I think there should be an option to make a fridge to put your stuff in so it doesn't spoil, right? That would be nice. Of course, they have perk cards, which do help with that. But there we go. So very, very cool. We've got our base going now. Now, of course, one of the things we want to do, of course, is think about our defenses of our base. Now, we already have some defenses already set up. So we're going to go ahead and put a rocket. Now, a rocket where your stuff is not always the greatest idea. But we're going to see if we can kind of just sneak this under here. Doesn't look like it's going to let me do. Oh, it does. It does let me do it. Ooh, boy. Oh, yeah. There we go. Of course, we've already got power, right? Right over there. So we can chain that power right up to here. And, of course, if those get destroyed, then your power on your turret's going to go out. So we've got a rocket turret down here to protect anybody who's trying to run up into the front of our base here. Or whatnot. So that's going to help on that side. But, of course, we're going to need some more defenses. Now, again, because we've taken over this building, and it lets us put stuff on top of this building, as ours, we've got a turret over here already, which, of course, will help us over there. And what I would do is I would also create a bit of a Kismet kill box in the entrance over here. Now, the kill box is basically turrets, which will fire at any enemies that try to show up and try to blast you in the face. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize a floor up here, like so. And we're going to try to snap it up here somewhere. Say right there. There we go. Now it's going to create a platform for your turrets. And then, of course, you can go ahead and take out your stored turrets. You got another rocket launcher. And I like to stick it way on the edge. The reason why I like to put it on the edge is the fact that it can shoot straight down like that. Now, of course, it's going to create a bit of an overhang there. Now, if this floor was bigger or we could move it back further, I would move it back further. But it does act as a pretty good deterrent right there against that. Now, of course, we also have the problem we can't go straight there. We can go ahead and do a little more power. Now, again, look at my budget over there, right? My budget is almost full. So, again, you can't really build that big of a base. But if you work your magic on it, you can eventually kind of build it up. Now, there's other locations to find as well with actual mines that you can do and whatnot as well. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and take this one, and we're going to go ahead and make it a sideways one here. And we'll put it up fairly high here. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and just chain from up there. I find there's also a little bit of delay when it comes to chaining power. There we go. Now we've got both of our rocket turrets going toward our main entrance, because that's how they're going to try to get into our base and get us, right? Through the main entrance. And, of course, you've got two levels now. You got the lower level here, which has a good 360-degree view, right? So if they're on this side, you're going to get that great view of the double rockets. And, of course, I don't want them to rocket my plants, but it may happen. It may happen. Your plants may... The only way to protect it is to put something over the top of your plants or to put a fence around it and then put something over the top, which I would love to do. I would love to build a fence all the way around the outside of my base to protect mobs from coming in and destroying my stuff. But look at my budget up there, right? It's not possible with the budget, especially if you want to use rocket turrets and whatnot. Now, you can take turrets out and just have walls, but then again, you have no turrets. Hi there, Glow Balls. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here in the stream. Uh-oh. What's up? What's up? There we go. We have sound, I think. Yes, we have sound. We should have sound. We got sound. I have it turned down a little bit. When I'm talking, sometimes the ambient noise is pretty loud. Hi, I'm new. Well, welcome, BZAP. Welcome to the stream. My name is Kismet. I'm a variety streamer here. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon. We are finding a way of making big money today. Big money. Now, look at this beautiful, beautiful location that we found. We got a lot of purified waters we can put in there. I think we had like 6 or 8 of them in there last night. Last time. Not last night, but last time. We're putting in, of course, our mute fruit and our potatoes. So, of course, we can do adhesive eventually. Now, let's go in here. Let's go ahead and close the door so no one can come in and get in our face like so. Now, one of the cool things about doing this, about your door here, let me get into view here, is that you can actually lock this door. Close the door again. Then you can go into your workbench and you can actually go tab to get out of the building part into the editing part. And right behind me, once again, my big butt in the way. Rotate. It's right there. Go this way. Let me go this way. Whee! Right there. Lock. So you can hit F for lock. Bam. And then it gives you these options up here, right? You want to lock people out? You can go ahead and go like that, especially mobs. You can go ahead and just say E to lock that right there. Now it's a level 3 lock that they have to unlock. Now at the beginning of the game, it's very tough. I'm getting this game. Well, there you go, BZAP. Very, very fun game. Still has some shortcomings that they're working on. A lot of great expansion stuff coming out. Did we find it, Chewy? Oh, Chewy found it. Oh, Scorch Dragon found it also. There you go. So in there, by the way, everybody, is it called Inside the Vault. If you want to know what's going on with Fallout 76 and all the awesome new additions that they're adding to the game, they're increasing the storage to 800. They've already increased it to 600. And a lot of other cool stuff that they have going there. Follow that link up there in the chat. As well as you can see the past stuff that they've done. So you can go back and see what else they've updated if you haven't played in a while. You're like, Kismet, you know what? I gave it a little bit of time for them to fix it and do their stuff. Smart idea. Smart idea. I tried to temper everybody's expectations that I knew it would have issues at launch. Every online game does. Every online game does. So I don't get on the hate train. I don't dislike something just because everybody else gets all upset. And it's like, well, everybody else dislikes it. That means I got to dislike it. No, I can do whatever the heck I want to do. If I want to like it, I'm going to like it. If I dislike it, I'll dislike it. If I like certain parts and I dislike other parts, I'm going to say so. There you go. It's as simple as that. It's your life. Make your own life decisions. Don't let other people tell you how to be. Right? Of course, yeah, again, they're all your decisions. So go for it. Are you on Xbox? I have it for Xbox and I have it for PS4 currently on PC. That's right. I have it on all 3 platforms. That's how hardcore of a Fallout fan I am. I have the Collector's Edition, the $200 Collector's Edition one for PC. And then, of course, I have the regular editions for Xbox and PC. Or Xbox and PS4. All right, so we want to go in and we want to modify repair. Before we get too heavily into collecting resources, we want to go ahead and see what's going on in here, right? Let's go ahead and repair this with T. And then our shotgun, of course, very useful. And, of course, we got all this other stuff in here, right? We got a lot of other stuff, which we'll deal with here in just a second. Let's also go check on our armor. Let's go ahead and hit space to modify that. And again, that's why you have all of these things to be able to repair and, of course, make modifications to all your stuff. Now, look at me. I've got legendaries. I've got tons of legendaries already. Let's see. Right arm. I can get rid of this wood right arm. And all the rest of these look pretty good. They look pretty healed or fixed up. So we're good to do some scrapping. Now, in this game, you will be overburdened all the time, constantly, if you collect lots of stuff like I do. Like, I'll pick up all the weapons just so I can scrap them and get tons of resources, as well as I get mods as well. Florida Tryhard, thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer. Also, Wav coming in, and Feda coming in as well, dropping that Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons, as well as BZAP as well. Thank you so much. Thanks for being part of the crew. Appreciate it. Feel free to say hello in the chat. People will actually say hi back to you. I know. Try it out right now. Watch. Say hi in the chat. People will actually say hi back to you. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Now watch out when you're in here because you can accidentally scrap your power armor, which I've done several times now. But no big deal. You can always get it again in there. So I've got my power armor in here. I've got rid of my weapons. I got rid of the apparel. And of course, that's really all you can scrap in here other than the junk, right? Now the junk we want to go ahead and convert. We're going to say scrap all junk. We hit that space bar. It's now going to reduce my weight and also put that into its base components. Now, don't you wish you had that in Fallout 4? I actually put a mod in which had a recycler, which what it would do is it would pull it out of the workbench and then run it through that recycler, and it would break it down to its base components and then put it back into the workbench. If you want to see that, you can check it out on my YouTube channel on my Mega Run as well. There we go. Look, I'm Gouldified. I'm still Gouldified. That's funny. That's funny. All right. Oh, we got to have some more food and water, but luckily we've done lots of razor grain soup. There we go. Now, of course, razor grain soup, you are going to get radiated, so make sure you have lots of rat away and whatnot. You can see that I'm highly radiated over here. We'll take care of that in a bit. All right, so we've got that done. We've got all our stuff repaired. We've got our base now established. We can go in and see if there's anything else that we're not using in our stored right here. Another water purifier. I don't necessarily want to scrap that. I want to save it for later, right? This way I don't lose those resources. It doesn't really matter. I don't really need that much more stuff on my base. I have some defenses. I have my stuff established. I'm good. I'm good for now. Now we're ready to do the cash run. Okay, so as we saw last time, we got to make sure that we remove some of the stuff off of us. We have enough room in our storage. Now, if you missed it last time, what we were doing is we were running around finding resources for free. Free resources around the world that will help us stay alive, right? Like a great example is we found some of these creams. We found some purified water. And, of course, we're making purified water as well. And a whole bunch of other random stuff in here. Now, one of the things you want to do before you get started in your day, you want to repair your weapons, you want to repair your stuff, maybe make yourself some ammo down here, like shotgun shells or whatever, or 10 millimeter. Those are pretty cheap. Don't use the bulk system. It's useless unless you're going to sell stuff to the vendor, which, of course, then it uses your plastic, so then you're kind of screwed. But one of the things you can do is you can go in and you can convert stuff into other stuff, right? You can make grenades. You can make all that other stuff. Like that. Now, of course, over here at the chemistry station, we can do something even cooler, and that's use the kind of spoiled food under smelting, which is kind of a weird place for it. Use the spoiled food here. There it is. Use the spoiled food here to make more fertilizer. Right now, we have a bunch of spoiled vegetables, so we can go ahead and use those spoiled vegetables, fruit, whatever, to make us that. Also, we've got some steel scrap, so we can use our acid to make that into steel. We've also got copper. We can make that into copper using that acid. Basically, it's going to save us some space in our inventory, right? And again, it's all about this thing. All about being able to micromanage this thing right here. Now, we can go ahead and look in here. I have no weapons stored. I have no apparel stored. A little bit of this stuff, right? A little bit of this in there. We want to go ahead and put our razor grain soup in there for now. Purified water, we need that for later. Cream, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got anything else we could sell in here? Not right now. Doesn't look like it. And, of course, we've got all this other random stuff in here that we could sell, get rid of, or drop. And, of course, we have all of our junk. Now, one of the things about the junk is you constantly have to be watching. If you're someone like me who super loots all the time, it does get in there. Hi, now you're really anxious and I'm nervous about something undefinable because we all said hi. Rosary. Everybody saying hi is awesome. Do you have a server to join? I do not have a custom private server. They haven't come out with those, but the second they do, I will have one for everybody. They look at everybody saying hi. There we go. Now I'm on the public servers right now. On the public servers. So as you see in here, if we have too much of a certain resource, we're going to have to get rid of it. Now, I don't even bother bulking it and then selling it. I just get rid of it, right? If it's too much of something and I don't need it, like great example, you've got wood or steel, and you might have 1,000. Like I have 1,000 steel right now. Now watch how much it is. It's 467 right now. If I go ahead and cut that in half, There we go. Now I'm down to 439. That's a lot of weight for if you only got 600. Even when you have 800, still going to have the same problem. So what I'm going to do is something nice. I'm going to go down here, and I'm literally going to drop it out here in the middle of nowhere. Because this way, if I do drop it out here in the middle of nowhere, someone comes along and they need that, they can, of course, pick it up and use it. So I'm literally going to throw away 692 steel right now. Now, steel is easy to get. Wood's easy to get. It's easy to get a lot of the resources. There are some that are... Oh, there's some mute fruit right there. Speaking of easy to get. Ooh, our mute fruit's coming in. Oh, baby. Give it to me, baby. All right. Some more mute fruit came in. All right. You know what happens when we get some mute fruit? We take one mute fruit, we turn it into 2. We take 2, we turn it into 4. We take 4, we turn it into 8. And so on and so forth. Down the road. Look at this. Bam. 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 Let's keep her going, baby. Notice that rock went away. Let's keep her going. Now, again, we're just going to be doing mute fruit until we run out here. There we go. Now, same thing with potatoes. Did we get any potatoes? We did. So we're just going to keep lining them here on the inside. Now, again, I would love to build a base around it. I have tried to build a base around my food so I could protect and shelter my food against it getting attacked or destroyed. And it gets destroyed anyway. And then also look at my budget up there, right? We've kind of reached our maximum budget of what we can build. And this is it. This little base, these 2 water purifiers, and all that food. Now, if I was in Fallout 4, I could be building that 12 days until Sunday and building a mega base on top of it, right? Especially at certain locations. If you're at Spectacle Island, or if you're at Sanctuary, or Abernathy Farms, you could be building massive, massive structures and have your base and all of that stuff too. There you go. Is there a way to join your server? I'm sure there is, but I don't know who you are. Kismet, you should drop your loot, the Overseer's chest, for other players to get. Drop your loot. Your loot and Overseer's chest for other players to get. You mean my stash? Well, they can go ahead and grab their stash out of it, but they can't access my stash from there. That's why it's great, because even if you die and you drop all the junk that's on you, you can always take your stuff and put it on there. And if someone comes up and do what they did yesterday and try to destroy my base or whatever, I'll just rotate to another server and just repair it. Right? If someone comes up and they're being a jerk and they're being an a-hole on voice, mute voice. That's what you do. Maybe make it team only. There you go. And again, the great thing about this game is they've added a lot of anti-troll tactics. Now, I think the way to solve the problem is to eliminate the PvP aspect of the game. Is to take out the PvP and move it to a PvP server. So it's either always on or it's off. That's it. On or off. Right? And you can do it like a middle of the road server, I guess, if you want. But I would make it always on or always off. Right? In my case, I would play on the PvE. Because I want the Fallout experience where I go along and I'm going on the thing and I'm reading quests and I'm learning lore and I'm doing all these things and I'm fighting all these epic mobs and I'm finding stuff and I'm building up my armor and I'm building up my base and I'm, progressing as I level up and I'm seeing new things as I go up over hills and in things and all that kind of stuff. That's the Fallout experience. That's the core of the Fallout experience, right? And when you add PvP to that, you're taking away from that single player experience that most people want. But of course, they also want to take their friends along with them on the journey as well. So I think that the PvP part was a mistake. And I was watching to see how they would implement it, and I think they spent way too much time on the PvP part. They should have taken that and put it on a separate server like they're doing right now, which nobody really asked for, but put it on a separate server on its own thing. You can go over there, you can PvP, show how leech you are, because you're not. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how leech you are, or how many times you killed somebody else. Most of the time. I don't care. I don't care how leech you think you are because you came and you blew up my base. Oh, well. Repair all. Repair all. There you go. Yes, I'm very kid-friendly. Yes, I'm very PG-13 up in here. PG-13 up here, you'll see I don't cuss every other word and all that stuff. Not that I'm any saint when it comes to cuss words, but, after a while, it does make everybody else around you uncomfortable if you don't know that. If you don't know it, they won't even say it. But it does make them uncomfortable, especially when you're like at the store or you're going somewhere or you're hanging out with friends and you're just cussing every other word. I mean, sometimes when you hit your toe or you hit your thumb with a hammer, makes you feel better to throw out a few curse words. And sometimes that hammer deserved it, right? That hammer deserved that. But if you're doing it all the time, it's unnecessary. That's the number one thing. But of course, it's your life decisions. Go for it. Because I used to cuss like crazy. I used to cuss all the time and discovered that it made people uncomfortable. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is make my good friends uncomfortable, right? And, you know, they're cool with it most of the time. But, you know, you start to get to a point where you're not even thinking about it anymore. You're just cussing left and right without even thinking about it, right? And then you're in inappropriate situations. All right, office desk and fire cap. I already know that, so I'm going to put that down for somebody else to find in the world. And then I'm going to use the Nuka-Cola grenade. Oops. And then also a pump action shotgun we got. Now, guys, the great thing that you saw there, thing's a little touchy. Great thing you saw there is it actually says known now. So that's the thing that they changed. They put the word known next to the recipes that you know, so you don't have to guess and waste your caps. Now, all right, let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and close the door. And let's go out my front porch here. Nice. Nice, nice. So here we are out my front porch that I've utilized this building to become basically a protector. It protects the underside of my base. Now, you can still hit the underside if you tried hard enough. Now, we just happen to be right by a vendor over here. So we're going to go over here to the vendor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Hold on. I'm streaming here. No. Where are you at? Shush. Of course, when I'm streaming, I can't have any music. I know it sucks. The music of Fallout is amazing. I would love to have the ability to actually stream with the music on, but it strikes my videos here on YouTube. I mean, here on Twitch and also on YouTube later. So I have to have all the music off. It's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer, Rooney. All right, let's get our light on. Now, one of the cool things about this vendor is that you have the stash right here. And we go to this vendor.
Authorized to trade supplies and
all right.
Equipment.
So we're going to grab that razor grain that we made earlier. And we're going to go to the vendor. And we're going to do what we did yesterday. And I'm going to actually mute this vendor because these vendors are really annoying because they talk the whole entire time. But here we go. So we made 29 razor grain suit, which you guys saw was super easy to make earlier, right? So we're going to go ahead and hit spacebar. And we're going to see how much that's worth. That's worth 29 caps. Now, I can get 200 razor grain roughly right now. And you're like, how can you get 200 razor grain? Well, I'll show you. First, I'm going to sell this, right? Or first, let me see how my food and water is. My food and water is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and sell what I've got right now to the vendor and make 29 caps. I'm also going to sell Stealth Boy, wine, salt, seafood, all this stuff. Blood pack I'm going to keep because that is for making stem packs. Now, all this stuff you don't drop. The only thing that you drop if you die is all of this stuff, right? And I've got some of this stuff on me right now. Notice this one here, the scissors, has a little magnifying glass because it's plastic and I have it tagged for search. And then we can look in the vendor here and see what he's got. Oh, he's got some plastic there too and some lead. So let's get that. He's got some adhesive, but that's 162 caps. I have currently 129 caps. Notice that he had 200 caps. Now he has 153. So we can go ahead and go out of here and go get our razor grain right over here. It's going to cost us 7 caps to go there, which is pretty cheap if you think about it. So we'll pop over there, and we'll go and we'll collect ourselves tons of resources. Let's see. My girl and I. Yeah, the swear jar. Yeah, you put $1 in there every time. It helps a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I just stopped doing it. But occasionally it'll come back on again. Occasionally it will, be like an automatic thing. Here we go. Kismet, I just started playing Fallout 4. Should I finish that and get Fallout 76 or just get it now? I would play some Fallout 4 first. Especially if you're playing with DLC like the Automatron or Nuka World or Far Harbor. Incredibly excellent. Incredibly great. And again, if you'd like to see some of my guides and whatnot on how to be an awesome settlement overseer, you can go and check it out on my YouTube channel. I think my mods have that somewhere in there as well. Ah, there you go, Chewy. There you go, Chewy. All right. So here we go. We teleported in, and we teleported right here by this particular farm. Now, there's some resources down there and whatnot, and we used to have our base right here. Now, one of the problems, though, is it's not flat. It's not easy like the place we got right there. Much easier, flatter area for our base. We've also got some natural defenses as well. But we're going to run our way over here on this side. And we're going to have some fun shooting some mobs. Now, the thing I want to do is I want to get the cover, right? I want to go inside the base and get the cover because NPCs are dumb. Half-fan coming in, taking all my fun away. Half-fan. I wanted to shoot some stuff. That's okay. That's okay. I just kidding with it. So yeah. So what I did is I ran in the base. Of course, I ran at the ones that were in the base. Ran past them. Now, he's level 77, so these mobs are going to be super easy for him. But I ran past him. I went in there as a tactical reason. Ran in there because my health is really low because I'm very heavily radiated right now. And sometimes I like to leave it like that just to test myself. But then I went in there, and then, of course, if I stayed in there, had half-fan not appeared and then killed them all, they would have been really dumb, and they would have, of course, ran in to try to get to me. And, of course, they would end up here in the doorway, and, of course, I just blast them as they're coming running in the doorway. A much easier way to do that. Actually, let me invite them to the team while I'm at it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run over here, and we're going to have some fun collecting some resources. Now, of course, there's some copper right here. It's great to remember where your copper and all your stuff is. And then we're going to go ahead and run along here. Now, I prefer to be in the third person when I'm grabbing, but literally there is 200 razor grain here for you to grab. Now, really, there's 100. But because I have this perk on, right here, green thumb, I'm getting double whatever I'm picking up. So I can literally run around. If you don't believe me, I will run around and pick up as much as this as I can grab for now. Now, of course, at some point, if you got lots of stuff on you, you're going to get overburdened. But this stuff does not weigh very much, which is great. And if you're having trouble with food and water in the game, this is a really, really easy way to get an infinite amount of cash. Every time you log in, you can run over here, grab this razor grain. One of the places I've found to make a good amount of money. Right? And also act as food, as water for you. Now, of course, to counter this, you could go ahead and get traits that counter you getting radiated, right? One of those ones, of course, in the trait systems would be one that would, of course, have you take no radiation from eating food and water. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Now, of course, this is a card-based system. So while you're eating it, you could go ahead and put those traits on. And then when you're not eating it, you can take those traits back off again. I know, that's cool, bro. That's cool. I dig it. I dig that big time. So I'm not a big fan of capturing these locations and whatnot. You'll see me not capture them. Because what it does is then it just causes the whole entire area to be PvP and all of that. So then what happens is mobs will start attacking and possibly other players will come over and start attacking. And it just creates like an annoyance when all you're really trying to do is just grab some razor grain, right? So I don't suggest to grab the workbench over here. You can see it flashing there. I don't suggest to grab the workbench. I suggest to come over here and grab yourself some serious, sweet, free loot. Right? And again, where I'm at right now, over here at the Billings Homestead. Like so. Now, another thing that we can grab here. Let's see how much that weighs. I'm now at 165. So I'm doing fairly good there. And again, oh, make that 244 razor grain. More than 100. More than 200. There we go. We got other things here. Blackberries, ash roads, things like that you can pick up. But then also what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run in this direction. Over here. Because you might be thinking, Kismet, if you're going to do adhesive, you know what you need? You need lots and lots of corn. Just so happens, there's lots and lots of corn over here too, so you can make yourself some adhesive. So if you're like me, if you like to make stuff, and you like to be a builder or a crafter and whatnot, this is a great way to do that. All right, to run around and collect it yourself and build it yourself. That's what I like to do. I like to be a builder and a crafter. I don't like to just, you know, easy mode it and have everybody say, here, Kismet, here's $1 bazillion. Right? Here's $1 bazillion, and here's the best armor, here's the best stuff, and let me give you all the patterns, and let me give you all of that stuff. And no matter how many times I say that, people still will try to do it. And it's, you know, they're trying to be nice, and I understand. But when you're trying to go on a journey, right, you don't want to shortcut that journey, I find. Some people like that. Some people like to be shortcutted and got all the stuff and whatnot and play the game for 5 hours, and then they're like, okay, I'm done with that game. Because if there's no challenge in the game, that's, of course, what makes the game not playable. There we go. €100. I originally bought 76 for Xbox, and later I got it on sale for PC. Well, there you go, Blair and Fire. There you go. That's the way to do it. I think we got all these. Oh, we didn't get these. There's some more here. You're like, Kismet, you're overburdened. You're bummed, bro. How are you going to bring all that back to your base? Ah. That's where we get smart, huh? We go in. We use our power armor. Put that baby down. Pop in that power armor. Now, the cool thing is once you have your power armor, someone else cannot take your power armor. I also like that a lot. Now, I don't know what's up with this offset thing that's going on there. But, hey, that's their problem to fix. All right, so now I get in my power armor. What do I got? 205 of 227. So if I go in and I look and see what I've got in here, right? I've got tons of corn, tons of razor grain. I can go ahead and just say, you know what? I'm going to just drop some of this. I'm going to drop some of this to get it. Now, of course, I could also drink some alcohol, which will make it stronger. Or make me stronger. I can also go heavy in strength, which, of course, make me stronger. I could use strong back, which will allow me to carry more, which eventually I will. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just say, okay, you know what? We don't need this much razor grain. We can go ahead and just say drop. And let's drop about 50. Now, we want to look and see how much it gives us, right? 227. If we drop 50, how many does it give us? Now we're at 214. So roughly about 10 or so is what 50 of those are, right? And if, you can also do the math, by the way, if you want to do that. You can go in and roll over it, see that it's 0.25, and so on. Me, I just guesstimate. I think it's faster than, you know, trying to be all that. Drop. All right. Now, again, this is a live game, so it doesn't pause. So we want to go ahead and drop a little bit more. Let's say 20 more. Drop. All right. Now, 208, a little bit more. Let's say, don't touch that half band. Leave that there, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. All right, so I dropped it. Now I'm 203. 203 out of 205. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and go from here, where I'm at right now. I'm on the thing, back to my base. That's going to cost me free. Right? That's going to be free. Now, of course, if there was a storage nearby, I could go to the storage. I could put it in the storage. And there is a storage up the way a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Now, of course, I could also move my base, or if I had a friend who could put down their storage, right there, then I could put it in their storage. You could actually work together and go back and forth. So here we are out here. Now, by the way, you don't have to have just your storage inside. You can also make it convenient for yourself. And I'd put it exactly wherever you appear. Like right here, I'm going to get rid of this tree and put another one down. I'd put it right where you appear. So you could appear, go like this, put all these in the bank, right? Like so, along with all that corn in the bank. And then you could immediately jump back again. Now, I do this very often in half band standing right there. I'm just going to use half band. Fast travel to him. You could use a friend. You could work together to put it in storage and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and jump over there where I just was, because it's only going to cost me 7 caps to go back. There we go. And then right here is that razor grain. I just pick it back up again. Now I'm not overburdened. And now, of course, I can bring the rest of it. And that costs me basically 14 caps total. 7 caps to go there first, and then 7 caps to go back and get the rest of it, right? So this is something that I strongly suggest in Fallout 4 and in other versions here like 76, is that you use a container as a temporary place to put your stuff. Then you go ahead and grab as much as you can until you get just below being overburdened or right at overburdened, so that you can still fast travel fast travel back to your base or to a vendor or whatever it is, sell it to them, and then travel back, and then hopefully your stuff is still there. You can take it out. Now, watch out in the survival mode in Fallout 4. When you do that, it happens to cause, sometimes the actual area will reset, and then, of course, you'll lose that loot, right? Sometimes it's worth taking all the loot and walking slowly from one place to another. B-Zap, how are you so popular? Years and years of streaming. I've been a streamer for 4 years. A lot of epic people have come in, and then, of course, a lot more epic people come in. A lot more nice people come in, press that follow button, and so on. And I'm relentless. I never give up. And I've been turned down for partner 100 times easy. I stopped counting after like 50 times. And they kept turning me down and turning me down and turning me down. And I said, you know what? I'll never give up. I'm relentless. I'll never give up on it. I will keep going and keep going. And because of a lot of epic people in my community, a lot of streamer pals that I know that I've gone on to raid and then push them up when they were a small streamer, who have gone on to be bigger streamers than me. They got partnered before me, some of them. I basically treat others how I want to be treated, right? As you should in life, right? I don't put conditions on friendship. Nobody ever has to raid me. No one ever has to come in and do all of that. I just ask that whatever love I pass on to them, to pass on to somebody else, right? And then it goes round and round, the Kismet love train. On Twitch, it makes Twitch a better place for everybody. For viewers, for streamers, for everybody, which I think is fun. All right, so here we are back at our base, and of course we just got 224 razor grade. Now we have a little bit of a problem that we're heavily radiated right now. So we're gonna hit T, and we're gonna go in, and we're gonna look at our different stuff. So we have hunger and food and all of that, but let's go down here. Oop, let's try to go down there. And look at our different cards that we have over here. And I'm not sure if I have it. There we go. Lead belly, of course, drinking, eating and drinking gives you less radiation. So, of course, when I'm eating my razor grain, I can get less radiation. You're, well, Kismet, why don't you have that on? Well, guess what? I could just take that out. And now I have it on. Is that awesome? I mean, if you play this game for one reason and one reason only, I would say, oh. Say hello to the Kismet kill box, sucker! Oh, now we're having some fun. Who else wants some of the Kismet kill box up in here? Anybody else? Oh yeah, somebody wants some. Now see, look, this is a little cheating here. That's a little cheating, right? They can stand out of the aggro zone of my stuff and then try to shoot at that. That needs to be fixed on mobs. But there we go. Now let's go look and see if my stuff got damaged down here. I think it did. For my own rockets. Did it? No. No, it's fine. Cool. Just fine. Hey, thanks for delivering that free loot. Where'd you go? Where's my free loot? Now, see, eventually, both here in Fallout 76 and in Fallout 4, basically, you build up your structure. Now, of course, in Fallout 4, you can build something way better than this. Way better than this. So I need to do that. Thanks. Yes, here's what you do, BZap. You want to be popular on Twitch? Just do what you love to do. I don't BS people. I don't play Fortnite or Apex or whatever the flavor of the month is. I don't play games because I want viewers. I play games that I really like, and I hope it becomes contagious. That you want to play. That you're enjoying. You go, oh man, Kismet, I saw you back engineer that thing up on top of that thing. I got to try that. I got to try something like that, right? That's what I do. And if I'm inspiring you to play some games and do what you love to do every day, then I'm doing it right. Because that's what my stream's all about. Just kind of infuse your day with a little bit of positivity. Of course, a lot of fun and games as well. Maybe entertain you a little bit as well along the way. Maybe a little real life stuff up in there as well. So there we go. Now, I find the walls are very useful to keep you from getting shot while you're in here. I actually find half walls to be fairly useful. Now, of course, I've used the full walls because I've got power in here. And I don't want that guy to stand way off over there and shoot my stuff. Speaking of, let me close my windows. I don't want him sitting there shooting my generators when I'm not around, right? And that's what they'll do. They'll stand way out there off to the side and shoot your stuff. Now, you guys saw what I did before, though, right? You guys saw, if you were watching earlier, maybe you didn't see, that we could actually set a turret up on top there. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Oh, come on. How could you doubt me, everybody? How could you doubt me? How could you doubt the Wasteland Tycoon? Come on. Come on now. Let's do it. Now, we're probably out of budget, though. We're probably out of budget, but let's try it. Right up here. Let's see if we can set it up here somewhere. Now, again, we could go in, because we have this as part of our base. Right there. But see, I'm exceeding my budget right now. But let's have some fun. You know what? Here they come. Say hello to my little friends. Come on. You sneaky. Alright, I fooled around with you for a while, but I got other stuff to do. This is a jam-packed stream. We got a lot of stuff going on. Now, Half Fan, thank you so much for not blasting those mobs so I can test it out. Now, of course, again, we're having a problem with the rocket there, right? But we could set it up on that building there so it would be behind them. So that's what we'd want to do. Now, of course, we could run some power over there. But really, all we need is to utilize one of these turrets that we already got. That apparently is not being very effective because it should have shot that guy. This one right over here. So don't store it, though, because sometimes what happens when you store stuff is it does mess up your build limit. So I suggest just to pick it up and move it in this particular case, though I could store it and then do that. But I'm going to go ahead and just be super sneaky and put this right up here and use pre-existing structures as part of my base. We discovered that yesterday, that you can use pre-existing structures as part of your base so it doesn't come out of your build limit. So now that we see that they're attacking from this side, we want to be thinking defenses on this side, right? Now we've got our rocket turret, which is working pretty good, but it was not activating when the mob was out here, right? The mobs are coming in from up here. The rocket, for some reason, is not seeing them from over there, but that turret's going to see them up there, isn't it? Right? I kind of feel like I should run... I totally feel like I should run some power over there. Oh, maybe another day. We got too much stuff to do today. We got too much stuff to do. All right, let's get back to it. All right. So, let me get out of my power armor here. Defensive walls are very good. Mobs seem to aggro them in priority. Exactly. And they'll just sit there and keep shooting your walls, or they'll keep shooting the closest thing to them usually. Like they'll shoot your food, or they'll shoot your purifiers quite often. So make sure you got at least a little bit of defense in there. Now me, if I could get away with it, I would use this building underneath here as my actual base, right? But I can't fix it. I can't take it over as mine and then fix the walls and fix all the stuff. We tried a little bit of that yesterday. You could put some blocks here and try to protect it, and then over here, and then put the turrets up along the top, which would be pretty decent. But whenever you build a base, you always want to reevaluate and reiterate on that base over and over and over. You notice I'm not making a fancy base. I'm not making it with angles and separate rooms and all of that stuff. If I had a build limit that would allow me to do that, then I would. But what I need is basic resources. I need basic functionality. I always go for that functionality over anything else. All right, so let's go craft some more razor grain soup, if we can, over here. Right here. All right, so we need, again, some more boiled water. So let's go in. Let's see. Oh, we can't get it. We got to collect the dirty water from there. Now, if we do collect any more dirty water, we're going to get massively radiated. But luckily, we happen to be right here by the vendor. So we're going to run to the vendor over here.
Ammunition and other supplies available here.
If he doesn't have Radaway, which I find Radaway to be fairly rare for some reason. I don't know why. But if he doesn't have any Radaway, you can also go to other vendors and try to get Radaway. Like there's one here at this railroad. There's one up here at this railroad and so on that you can go to and try to find, right? You can go ahead and just bounce to these different areas. Like I could use Half Fan's camp right there and then run up to this one if I want, or run up to whatever vendors I want to go to. So really great way of doing that. But if we get low health, what'll happen, and he wants to trade me probably Radaways or something. Like I keep telling him not to do it, but he does it anyway. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. What we can do is we can go ahead and scavenge around. If you don't have somebody nice to give you some Radaways, you can scavenge around for Radaways. Now, one of the places that I usually find, by the way, the reason why this is like me setting stuff up, by the way, Half Fat. I set stuff up, and then I knock it down. That's what I do. So if you don't know where Radaways are, right here at Flatwoods, you can find a lot of stem packs and basic materials for it. Now, one of the weird things about this game that I found is why can you not make Radaways at the very beginning of the game? For some reason, Radaways you cannot make at the beginning of the game. Same thing with stem packs. Later you can get stem packs and you can learn how to do those, but the regular stem packs anyway. You get the diluted ones later on, but or you get the full stem packs later on. You get the diluted ones at the beginning. But right here, you look for any kind of medical buildings. Obviously, is going to be your best bet. I found right here at the beginning of the game, this particular place is a great place to find them for free. Right, just go in here and you look in here. Well, we got boiled water for free right there. We also got medical area in here, so we can check here. There's a stem pack and a Rad-X. That's not bad. Down here. Nothing in that one. What's on this guy? Pre-war money. This person over here. Now, again, this respawns every day. There's some Rad-X to help you there. Some stuff in there, which I'm just going to ignore. And so on. So you want to look for the places where normally you have medical stuff, right? We'll go upstairs. We'll look up here again. Everything on. Notice, by the way, I stay mostly out of my power armor. That's just the way I am. Nothing in there. Specimen jar. We got a burner there. All right. Oh. Surgical tray. That's aluminum. Always grabbing that aluminum. We're always running that out of that later. So there we go. So we just run around and look for loot in common places that we know where stuff is. Just happen to know there was a Radaway there, or a thing there, aluminum scrap. What do we got in here? Anything that we really need? Not really. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that copper. I'm going to grab that aluminum. And get. So this is basically what I call the money run. The money run is where you know where stuff is, and you go and you collect it. Every time you log on, every other days, all that kind of stuff. You can run around and try to collect the loot that you want, right? And so on. So I don't like people to come in and just backseat game and say, Kismet, go over here and do this. Kismet, this is where it is. Kismet is over here. This is where the power armor is. So if you just do this, then you can do that, right? I don't like that. And I keep telling people over and over again, it's part of my chat rules down below. I consider it to be backseat gaming. Now, if I ask you, hey, how do I do this, right? Then that's something different. And most streamers want to have the same experience that everybody else gets. See, when you're streaming a game, it's different because people who have a lot more time than you, a lot more time than me, have gone on and are level 495 and they've done all this before. But I want to have my money's worth. I want to have my journey's worth where I can say, well, you know what? I don't know that and I don't know this other thing, but now I know. Now I know. Now, by the way, you can also just grab all of this loot right here and so on. Grab the burner and all this random loot that's in here. Antiseptic and whatnot. And use it to sell it to the vendor. Now, these burnt books, watch out for those. I was always wondering why I was so overburdened all the time. Those burnt books are one. Those are every one of those I pick up. It takes one away from my weight. Which is not good, or adds one to my weight, I guess, depending on how you look at it, right? All right, that's good enough. Let's jump down. Whee! And the same thing here. We get pre-war money, and we can just sell all these resources off if we so chose, right? As long as you haven't scrapped it yet, right? You can sell raw resources, like so. Bone saw. Bone saw is ready.
Here to sign up, just use one of our handy dandy terminals.
Okay, that guy talks too much. Okay, so not only can we sell the other stuff, and again, look at this guy's got a Radaway, right? 46 caps, ooh, that's a lot. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and buy it because we didn't find one for free. I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. Totally worth it. So now razor grain here is worth 1. So if I sell it as raw razor grain, it's just as much as if I make the razor grain. So, in theory, if I walk back over here and I go ahead, so instead of making the soup itself, if I just pick up the razor grain, right? Oh, wait, that's the overseer's cash. That's not my cash. I always think that's my cash every time. If I just go back to my cash, I could get all the razor grain and literally just sell it to the vendor directly, right? And this is something we discovered within the last few days, that I can literally just sell this for 93 caps to the vendor. Bam, done. Right there. I just made 93 caps. So that means that every time I log in, I go get that razor grain and make over 200 caps every single time. That's a Kismet money run. I can go get the corn. Sell the corn. That's 140, right? 140 caps every single time. Every time I pick up this junk, and I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it. You're going to see something super rare in my stream right now. This is going to be a rare thing that you rarely will ever see. I'm going to sell this junk. I hate selling junk. The reason why I hate selling it is because I know later on down the road I'm going to need it. I'm going to need that steel. I'm going to need this copper. I'm going to need that glass. But you don't have that option here. It's not like Fallout 4 where you can just keep pack-ratting and pack-ratting and pack-ratting it. There we go. There we go. I need to thanks. Defensive walls are very good. Awesome. Found there's a repair all option on the main cap toolbox, although it doesn't seem to do building parts. It does do building parts, rotisserie. It does the entire base. It actually does the entire base. That's why it's great to pick it up after you've done your base, to actually pick it up. Oh, I forgot to do that. Pick it up off the ground and move it inside your base. So if someone's attacking your base, like mobs or jerks are attacking your base, you can literally just click on it and say repair everything. And it will repair all your turrets and everything as well that you can do with inside your base, because you can move that little camp thing after the fact. After you put it down, you can move it and put it inside your base. I'll do it when I go back. So there we go. So we're going to actually sell. Now, before you scrap it, it actually has value, right? It has value. So you don't have to rebulk it later. And this is the next stage that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be collecting junk and selling it in its raw form, except for the junk that I want to keep. So we're going to take bandages. We're going to get rid of that. Beer bottle, sell that. Bone saw, Bunsen burners, cigarettes, circuits, coffee cups. Now, again, I just picked this up. Now, coffee pot, I don't want to do, right? That's plastic. I want to keep that. So I got to be real careful. Pillow, sell, dish rag, fiberglass, stool, lighter. Oh, this pains me. Oh, I don't want to do screws. No, screws I probably want to keep. Gold we're going to sell. Gold fork we're going to sell. Pillows. Asbestos. So again, you can make lots of money in doing this. Now, of course, nope, not the surgical tray. Glass. I might have sold some stuff that I probably wanted to keep there, but oh well. Antiseptic. Out of there. Now, that's got me to 21, right? That's not even counting the weapons that I just picked up. Let's sell the weapons. Let's sell the grenades. The mollies. Right? Oh, the vendor does not have enough caps. Now, I don't know what possessed them to change the Fallout 4 trade system. Maybe it was to, fix exploits, to reduce the amount of caps, making it harder for people to make money, and of course, progress in the game. Whatever it is, they put a stash limit of 200 caps on this vendor, right? Now, normally what you would do is you would say, I want to trade this, 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 and this. And then I want to buy this, 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 and this. That's normally what you do in Fallout 4. That's a fantastic trade system. Then you can go ahead and trade in one swoop, right? I don't have to buy a bunch of stuff or sell a bunch of stuff and then buy a bunch of stuff. And see, I tell it to you straight. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.